Hello everybody. So today I'm going to give you a demo of Power BI. Okay, so Power BI is a data visualization tool in which you can load the data and you can do the transformations. Transformation is your ETL part, the extraction, transform and loading. In the ETL, you can clean the data, you can create columns in your data, you can do data cleaning, and you can also create measures like the formulas you create in Excel, and you can perform complex calculations. You can create multiple tables, and then once the data is ready, you can create also build relationships between multiple data sets. And once you have built the relationship, then you can model your data and you can basically create a summary of your data. And then after some you've created a summary, you can build the visualizations. Okay, so this is the interface of Power BI. Okay, so this is the screen, the white screen you have in front of you. You can create you can build the visuals here, and on the right you have the filters, and just next to filters you have the visualization pane where you can see all the charts available in Power BI. And this is the field section. When you load the data, you get all the columns loaded here. Okay, so let's begin with the process of creating a simple report in Power BI. Okay, so this demo will give you a basic understanding what Power BI is and what you can do in the Power BI. Okay, so let's begin with the first process of loading the data. To load the data, go in the home tab in the data group, and we click on the option get data. So now we want to load the data that is in the Excel file. So I'll click on Excel, and I will just click on the Excel file that I want to load into Power BI. So as soon as we click on the load, we get Power BI will read that file, and it will read all the tabs present in that Excel file and try to populate all the tabs. Okay, so we have all these sheets present. So first three are sheets and the other three are tables present in my Excel file. So what I will do is I will load the orders sheet and the return sheet. Okay, so I have the order sheet and the return sheet. So I'll just click on load the data. I'll click on load. So load will directly load the data, and after loading the data, I will perform a very basic transformations. So it will take some time in loading based on the size of your data set. Okay, so once the load is complete, I will get the I'll get the message that it's completed. Okay, so now the load is completed, and if I want to see the files that I've loaded, I can see on the right side. I see the tables available. My data is available on the right side, and if I want to, let's say I want to do some transformations in these two sheets that I've loaded, so I have to go in the query section in transform. So I'll click on transform. Okay, once I've clicked the transform, so Power BI query editor will open up. Okay, so Power BI, so I can see on the left hand side I have two queries. So these are basically my sheets, orders sheet and the return sheet. So by default my first sheet will be selected. So if I want to do any transformations, I can do in the data set. Transformations meaning you can do the data cleaning. We want to remove certain columns. We want to do a data cleaning. We can do the date transformations, like changing the date to month, date to year, date to month, and date to we want to convert the date to a day. So these kind of transformations, if you want to filter out some data, we can do that. I'll just show you a very few examples. So we are in the home tab. So first of all, this my whole data set, it has 10,000 rows. Let's say I only have to work on the first 5,000 rows. So what I will do is I will go to the option reduce rows. I will select this and select the option keep top rows. So once I have the dialog box open, I'll just enter number 5,000. So this means only first 5,000 rows will be loaded into my data set, into the model. Okay, so let's do any other transformations. Let's just scroll through the data. So I have the customer's name. So let's say I want to split the customer's first name and last name. So what I will do is, and I will have to do the transform. I have to do the transformation on the same column. So I'll just do a right click on this and I will go to the option split column. So I have a delimiter which is a space in between the first name and the last name. I'll click on delimiter. So Power BI will automatically identify the delimiter. So I have three options: split option, left, right, and the each occurrence. So I will select the left delimiter. I only see one delimiter, so each occurrence would not be the right option. So I'll select leftmost delimiter. So I will click on OK. So once I've clicked on OK, so it has split my first and last name. So now I want to rename the column. I'll do a double click and I will type in first name like we do it in Excel. And I will just type in here last name. Okay, so there is no specific naming conventions that you have to follow. It's a free text. You can, and but just make sure it should not be a duplicate. Column name should not be a duplicate. Okay, so let rest all my data looks fine. So there is no transformation needed. Let's say I want to prepare. Let's say if I want to, let's say I do not want discounts. So what I will do is I will just click on the discount column and I will click on, I will select the option remove. So it will remove the discount from the Power BI model. It will not remove the column from the original data set. Okay. So let's say I only have to do, we can do lot many other transformations. Okay, but we will not get into that. So let's say I don't want this column row ID. I will just do a right click and click on remove. Okay, so let's go to the next sheet, returns. So I'll just select the return. So I have my data is starting from the row one. So I have a column label empty. So I want to shift this first row to column. So I will just select this option under transformation, use first row as headers. So I'll just click on this option. So it will, first row will become the headers. Okay, so we've done with the basic level transformation. So I'll just quickly move to the, I'll back to the visualization. So I'll just have to click close and apply. So it will get me back to the visualization sheet. So here what we can do is we can build the visualization. So before building the visualization, I wanted to show you three tabs here. So first option is we have the report, and the second is the data. So here we can get a view of the data loaded. So I can see if I click on the orders, I get the orders table here. And if I click on the returns, I get the returns. Okay, so let's say I want to create a relationship between these two tables, orders and returns. So what I will do is I'll go to the relationship tab. So I have two tables here. So let's say I want to create a relationship on order ID. So I'll click, just select this column and drag this column to return tables on the same column that I want to create a relationship. So it says many to many relationships. So I would not make any relationship here. So many to many is not acceptable relationships. So it will reduce the data. Okay, so let's try to build some visualizations. Okay, so what I will do is first I will create two measures. Okay, so to create a measures, what I will do is let's go to, yeah, table tools and click on new measure. New measure is basically creating a formula that will store the total profit and total sales. So I don't have to use that column over and over again. Okay. So I've just given a name to the measure sum, and then I'll use a function sum, and then I'll just select sales column from the orders table and I click enter. So as soon as you click the enter, the formula is applied. Okay, so I can see my total sales have been created. So let's create another measure, that is total profit. So I'll go to table tools and click on new measure. Okay, so I'll just use again one sum formula and click on orders profit. So I'll give a name total profit. Okay, so this is the two measures we have created. Okay, so let's try to build a report. So to build a report, so first we will create a title. So I'll go to insert and create a text box. So in the text box, I will just give a name to my report. So I'll give a name sales dashboard. So now I will just change, increase the text size. Okay, so this is the title I've given, sales dashboard. Okay, so now, okay, so I can also change the font name here to, let's say, Segoy Bold. Okay, so first I have to select this and I will change it to Segoy Bold. Okay, so now we've created a title for a dashboard. Okay, so now what I will do is I will create few high level information. So cards, basically I'll create 4 cards which will have some high level information. I'll just give you an overview what I'm saying. So I'll just first use my first I want to show the total sales. So I'll just drag the total sales measure that I've created. Okay, so by default, Power BI will create a bar chart of total sales. So what I will do is I will just select the visualization and go to the visualization pane and select card. Okay, so as soon as I've selected the card, so I have total sales that is in millions. Okay, so what I will do is I will now show the total profit. So I'll just drag the total profit measure here. It will just create a bar chart by default, so I will just change it to a card. Okay, and now what I will do is I want to know how many customers I handled in 100. So I want to see the count of the customers. So I'll just first I'll see have the table information. Now I have to select this and go to in the field section. In the values I will just select count. So basically summarization is switched off, so I'll just select count distinct. So it will just give me the count of the customers. So I'll change this to a card. Okay, so now I have the count of the customers. So now basically I have to see the how many let's say product names are there, how many products are there. So I'll just select the product and change it to the card, and now I will just change the this to count distinct. So this is, we have these many products. So now I have the high level information at the top, that is the total sales, total profit, and the customers, total customers, and the count of the products we have. Okay, so I'm not going much into the formatting part. Okay, so now what I will do is I'll quickly create some filters of the data. So first filter, what I want is, first I will just adjust this and reduce the size to have some space. Okay, and I will just reduce the size. Okay, so I'll just reduce the size of this as well. Okay, so now what I will do is I will create some filters. So first filter would be the category. Okay, so for filter we have to select this option slicer. So now what I will do is I will just change the list to a drop down. So I want to have a drop down for the filters. Okay, so let's select this and increase the size. So let's type in here text, and I will just increase the size to maybe 20, and the item size to be 16. Okay, so first filter is created. If we expand, I can see all the categories. Okay, so next filter I want to have is the subcategory. So I'll just select the subcategories, and I will change this to a slicer, and then I will change it to a drop down. Okay, so I'll select this and go to the fields section, and I'll type in text to increase the text size, and type in 20 here, and maybe 16. Okay, uh, basically we'll just increase the size. And now let's create another slicer for a region, and change it to slicer and a drop down. Same, we'll increase the text size to 20 and 16. Okay, so let's go to the last filter. Let's create a filter for segment. If somebody wants to see by segment all the data. Okay, so let's change this to a filter, and then select the drop down, and then we go to the text, and again I will just supply the text size. Okay, okay, so these are the 4 filters we have created. Let's try to build some visualization. Okay, so first, to build the visualization, we have few requirements. So let's say I want to show the sales by month in a line chart. Okay, so let's quickly have the order date. Okay, so now I want to show the sales. So I'll just drag the total sales here and change it to maybe a line chart. Okay, so I have the data. This is by year we are getting the sales. Okay, so this is by year we have the sales information. Okay, so let's go to the file again. So let's say I want to show the sales by product, by top 10 products. Okay, so what I will do is I will just quickly have the product name here. Okay, and let's say I want to show the total sales, and I want it for top 10 products. So what I will do is I'll just go to the filter pane and select the product, and just select the filter type to and change it to top n, and just type in here 10 and drag the total sales in the value, and just click on apply. So my filter will be applied, and I have the top 10 products by sales. So let's change this to a visualization rather than showing it in a table. So let's change it to a tree map. Okay, so I have the 2 charts ready. Let's say I want to show segment wise sales. So let's click on this segment and drag the total sales and change the table to a pie chart. Okay, so I have the segment wise sales. So let's say we have create a simple table here to summarize everything. So I'll just select category, and let's select subcategories, and select the sales and the profit as well. Okay, so I want to show these information in a table. Okay, so let's select this table and go to style. Maybe I'll change the style to minimum, and let's have a grid on also. Okay, so let's have a grid. Okay, so outline weight. Okay, column headers. So let's increase the size of the headers to maybe 14, and sorry, values to let's say uh, 14. Okay, yeah. Okay, so this is how you create a simple table. Okay, so what, let's say now I want to analyze the data. Okay, so I want to analyze for only category furniture. So I'll just select the filter and I'll select the furniture. So as soon as I select the furniture, all my data will be filtered for the furniture. So I see the total sales for furniture is 396, 3,96,000, and the total profit is this, and the count of customers we have in furniture is 444, and the count of the products we have is 339. So this is my sales, year-on-year sales for furniture. This is my top 10 products for in the furniture category, and this is my segment wise. Okay, for the furniture, and this is my table which is showing only category furniture. So whatever, and let's say I select the office supplies, so I get data filtered for office supplies. All information is for the office supply. Let's say I want to filter for technology, so my all information will be of technology. Let's say I want to remove the filter, I click on the filter again. Similarly, let's say I want to analyze a particular segment, and if I click on the let's say home office, so I have all the data filtered for the home office segment. So I see only the segment home office selected. So this is my total sales for home office. This is my profit. This is count of the customer. This is the product name count. Okay. So that was the very simple report that I prepared using Power BI. Okay. I hope you will like the demo. Thank you for watching. Thank you.